guys, welcome back to Sinister Creations. I'm Alan, of course. I've been having a load of a busy day, so I wanted to get this review done because I said I was going to have it done soon, and I wanted it done now. So Thanksgiving, finally got to go see it. I know it came out November 17th, but finally got to go see it last night with the wife, and it was pleasantly surprising. Spoiler warning coming up for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. There's a few things I want to talk about, and I'm pretty excited to talk about. So just a heads up, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it or is planning on seeing it anytime in the near future. It definitely gave some 90s slasher vibes. The whole whodunit aspect gave me Scream vibes, and the whole scene at the parade gave me I Know What You Did Last Summer vibes, which is all well and fine. The John Carver killer, he had some creative kills. I really like it. My favorite is the stepmom. I'm blanking on her name at the moment, but how he roasted her and turned her into a turkey is beyond one of the best things I have seen in a slasher movie in years. It was very creative, and I dug it. It was a little sick and twisted how he was gonna make her husband eat piece of her, though. That was messed up. That's what that was. But the main characters, there weren't a whole lot I felt like I could get behind. I did like Jessica. Jessica was a good character. I felt strongly that I wanted her to live, and I really dug Scuba. But other than that, I didn't really like a whole lot of the characters. I did like the sheriff, Patrick Dempsey. He was awesome. Speaking of which, I want to say about halfway through it, I leaned over to my wife and I was like, don't you think it's odd that they haven't really tried to point a finger at him and make him a red herring yet? And then what happened? He turned out to be the killer. So I warned you guys, spoilers. I'm not holding anything back here. I want to talk about it all, or as much as I can remember at this point. But definitely was surprised that Patrick Dempsey was the killer. I believe at one point my wife was even like, what? This is a different character for him. I was like, yeah, well, he can play both sides. He's a good actor. He can play a crazy cop. He could play a good detective, bad detective, what have you. He can get it done. He can play McDreamy. I think that's who he played in Grey's Anatomy. I don't remember. Anywho, I wish there was more going along the lines with Mitch. I believe he played Gina Gershon. He was the guy who was Gina Gershon's husband. I felt there was a lack of story with him, and they weren't really pointing finger at him. Like at one point when he came out to be to stop the parade and start protesting again because they were trying to open up the store for another Thanksgiving sale for Black Friday, other than that, they really didn't do a whole lot with him, which, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I want a little bit more. I think by far my favorite scene was when the John Carver killer went after the security guard who ran away. He was acting all big and tough, and you'd never know it by the way I sound, but I'm from Massachusetts, and I just lost my accent over the years because I've spent a lot of time not in the state. So, but I remember and I recall people who sound exactly like that trying to act big and tough while they're scared shitless. And he's talking to his cat, and the cat's just staring at him. No, nothing. and then he gets taken out. I think the best part of that scene was right after that, the killer goes and feeds the cat, because the cat's just staring at him but sees the bowl's empty, and it's hilarious. I'm sorry. And then he pets the cat and leaves. He felt for animals. What more could you want from a killer? I mean, honestly, seriously, what more could you want from him? The chase scenes were decent. I really liked them. They prolonged the tension, and they really made you feel something in your gut, you know? Because there's a lot of horror movies now that just seem to drag on, or are a little bit boring, and there's not really a whole lot to them. But this, I really got behind, and it was really fun to watch the chase scenes in this one, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I kind of knew that Jessica was going to live, and like I said, about halfway through, 2/3 of the way through, I figured out who the killer was. But at the same time, I really liked the movie. It was good. I enjoyed it. The cinematography was great. The shots and the angles, how each scene was framed was fantastic. Again, the characters, a lot of them left a lot to be desired. Evan, his girlfriend, Scuba's girlfriend. It's just, they fell kind of flat for me. I think the most annoying one out of the bunch was the Ryan character. He was like, oh, I want to get this girl. Oh, I have this girl, but he's still kind of a dick about it. And, I mean, I get it. The ex-boyfriend's back in town, and it was like, oh, they had this big thing. But now, you got her. You don't need to be a dick about it. It's fine. I get it, but Jesus. The opening scene, that was harsh. And I felt like that's not far of a stretch from reality sometimes. And it's one of the main reasons I like to do all my shopping online nowadays. And I hope, well, I kind of think, not hope, that it's one of the reasons why they do a lot of online stuff nowadays too. And so you don't have all those people like trying to murder each other the day after trying to be thankful for everything we have to get a fucking waffle iron. My wife got taken out by a greedy bitch who wanted a waffle iron and wasn't paying attention to where she was rode in her cart. I'd probably be a killer too. That whole scene was a little messed up and hit a little close to home on seeing where society is bringing us a little bit. I mean, exaggerated, yes, but not as much as it used to be. And it's wild to think that crap like that could actually happen, you know what I mean? It's insane. But it was a really good opening scene. I enjoyed the kills. The killer reveal I kind of saw coming again. John Carver was a decent killer. Can't wait to see what happens in part 2, because apparently part 2 has been greenlit. And yeah, so I believe this is a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. Mainly because I got a jam-packed day of everything with work and everything after work. But they slated guests for Bad Monster Arizona 2024, and I gotta start working on some more coasters, more artwork. So guys, this has been Sinister Creations. I'm Alan. Stay spooky.